We are back under green. 30 to go.
Well, I know we have 2 damaged cars at the front of the field. Martin Truex Jr. in 8, Tony Stewart in 33. But 3rd through 5th are 3 hungry guys trying to get their first win. Strimmy, Ashton Lewis, and John Wood.
And look further back. They're still running 3 wide right from the get-go.
No longer. They're 4 wide.
Well, now you got cars back there that have some damage, a little bit of damage, a lot of damage. You see tape flying.
Darrell, how does this differ from the race we'll see tomorrow? Or does it?
It'll be the same thing. I mean, it's just like what happened with Joe Nemechek. Joe is a highly respected driver. That's why he came out and said what he said. And you heard Casey Mears. He didn't blast Joe. Joe made a mistake. But the same thing's going to happen tomorrow.
All right. Probably the most disappointed driver out of that whole group is standing with Dick.
Denny Hamlin had a great run going today. Car had been undamaged until the big crash. What was it like in the midst of that thing?
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. We had a pretty good car. We just got up there, and the high line was the better place to be, and that's where I was. And Joe was 3 wide on me on the outside, and I knew I gave Casey plenty of room, and Joe started coming down, and I knew eventually he would stop coming down, but just didn't, and came across my right front, and that was a big wreck.
Hamlin did a great job today before the wreck, Mike.
Yes, he did. Lead change. Tony Stewart back to the front.
And the thing about it, I think these 5, they can do kind of what they need to because they've pulled away from the rest of the field as we've got 28 laps to go this time at the stripe.
Yeah, this is when you want to get hooked up, those 5 do, and try to maybe put a little distance between these other cars because, again, cars back in here are damaged and they won't be able to catch them back.
All right, let's show you everybody who's not wrecked today. And there are only 12 of them.
It won't take but 1 page.
Well, Michael was not wrecked, but he's in the garage, too. He had an engine problem. So it's been one of those days. Talladega does that to you sometime.
And it's not over.
Now we're seeing Martin Truex Jr. in the 8 car as we ride with Tony Stewart in the 33 leading. He was starting to work the high side without any help and was starting to make a little ground up there. Now he's back in line.
John Wood, the rookie, there in that green and yellow Pine Sol car. Darrell, what kind of advice would you give a rookie when he's got a chance to win here at Talladega?
Well, right now he just needs to stay in this group. He's got Ashton Lewis in front of him. Two guys that need good finishes. That'd be the first thing I think. Come on, John. We're in the top 10 in points. Let's get us a good finish here, dude, and see if we can't come out of here with something.
And Darrell, it almost looks like Martin Truex Jr. in the 8 car. What he did that time, he just somewhat waited for John Wood in the 47 to open the bottom of the racetrack. He took advantage of.
Yeah, this is when you've gone through this whole day, wrecks everywhere. You've probably been involved or been around a bunch of them, and now you're up here with the chance to get a good finish. That's the first thing you want, is a good finish.
Conversation between Kevin Manion and his driver in number 8, Martin Truex.
You're doing a great job, man. This is speedway racing at its best and its worst. It's a love-hate relationship, and right now we're loving it. Earlier we hated it, so. Stewart's all tore up. Man, this took a lot of the top dogs out. Stewart's tore up, then the 14, 25, 46. You got the best car out there, I'm telling you that right now. That's the God's honest truth. Got a ways to go yet.
Martin's just so calm.
Larry, what did you tell me about selling? You trying to sell me on something?
Yeah, Kevin Bono Manion, the crew chief, he's trying to be the salesman. Martin Truex just not a great customer right now. He's not buying all that just yet.
Never mind that. On a foggy, rainy, wet day, the Navy has cruised to the front. David Stremme.
What a great job Stremme just did after coming off a 3rd place finish last week from Phoenix, and here he is leading at Talladega. What a thrill.
This Fitz Bradshaw team, they like what they see. 25 laps to go.
Saw some, Reed Sorensen down on the apron there. He was smoking earlier, and looks like she's giving up the fight.
But I believe Stremme's glory of leading this thing is going to be short-lived because Martin Truex Jr. in the 8 car, he has help from John Wood in that 47 and Ashton Lewis Jr. in the 25.
And it appears they have left Tony Stewart, and we're told Kevin Harvick may have a flat.
We're riding with him here.
Yeah, he slowed down there. He's coming off of that.
One more coming outside.
Headed down the back.
He has a long way to go to get back to pit road halfway down the backstretch.
To right front, down.
And because these guys have been slicing and dicing, now you see Mark Green in the 23 car there, Justin Labonte in the 44. They now are part of this group as well as others.
That orange 23, what a great story for Mark Green, the middle of the three racing brothers from Owensboro, Kentucky. His oldest brother David, a Busch champion, and his youngest brother Jeff. Mark got tabbed to drive this car for a few races. Shauna Robinson started the season in it. They sat her down for a while, trying to establish a good baseline. They're going to put her back in the car later in the season, but boy, is Mark Green giving that car a ride.
And then the story continued on Thursday here. When they went through inspection for qualifying with their primary car, NASCAR found an infraction with the roof flaps, made them unload their backup car. He had no practice in race trim with this race car.
Look at some of the names in the top 10, like Mark Green. Tim Sauter. Another great racing family. Tim in that number 56, way up on the outside. He's in the top 10. And Randy LaJoy hangs on to a top 10 spot despite that splish splash in the 34 down through the tri-oval.
And look at the 71 car. Kevin LePage, the whole right side's caved in. He's up there fighting for the top 10.
And you got to be careful with a car like that. I mean, the aerodynamics on that car is obviously way off. It's going to push that car around. He has to be careful not to get into somebody.
Kevin Harvick's back out on the racetrack, made that pit stop. He will be one lap down.
They spend months in the body shop and the wind tunnel massaging the shapes of these cars, and likely the winner of this race, his car is going to end up looking like that burlap bag full of walnuts.
I mean, every car out there has tape flapping on it just about.
I tell you, John Wood is being pretty impressive right now, Larry. Sitting there running in second place, he and Strimmy.
Making his first start here at Talladega.
His grandfather, Glenn Wood, a NASCAR pioneer as a driver in 1949, patriarch and owner of the team that won so many races with drivers like David Pearson, Neil Bonnet, Buddy Baker, Tiny Lund, Dale Jarrett, A.J. Foyt, Dan Gurney, and many, many more.
I guarantee you one thing, if Leonard Wood was working on that 47 car, I guarantee he'd have the carburetor working right on it. He was the best there was on the carburetor.
Now, this is not a Wood Brothers car. This is one of Tad Geschichter's cars. He is a teammate to Stacy Compton, who is 37 laps down after being in the first pileup of the day.
You know, when I look at our lead pack, you know, early in the race, most of these cars, they were about a quarter of a lap down, just somewhat laying back, and I think it paid off for most of them.
Yeah, we mentioned, you know, that some of the Busch regulars had fallen back into a little race of their own, and now they're up at the front in a little race of their own.
Tony Stewart climbed the hill a little bit and then jumped right back on the bumper of John Wood. Stewart in the 33. Right behind him, the Marines getting help from the Navy. That's Ashton Lewis, 25, and David Stremme, 14.
Tony's old car doesn't look like it's driving quite as well as it did before he had some of this damage. It's kind of darting around a little bit, but he's able to hang in there nonetheless.
Yeah, now what was a 5-car lead pack turned into an 8-car lead pack.
Well, Tony looks like he's making that 47 awful nervous.
He's got that deal off of turn 3 there where he sticks that nose up under even the damaged nose up under the back end of the car in front of him, and it looks like it causes that car in front to step out and go up the hill.
See right there how much faster that lap Tony Stewart was is because they were lined up somewhat catching the leader.
For those of you watching from abroad, all 3 of the service cars are in the top 10. Marines, Navy, and Coast Guard. Justin Labonte in 7th behind LaJoy.
It's just so hard to stay behind the car in front of you. These aero package, the way these cars are prepared, the roof flap, these things get such a huge run that you think you can pass the guy and you pull out and somebody takes your place.
Yeah, you have 3 choices: buck draft, hit the brake, or jump out of line. $19 to go.
Single file. The top 7 cars, and then 2 behind them, Mark Green and Kerry Earnhardt, and a long gap back from there.
Got around Tony, I think he got around there.
Lewis up to 3rd.
The Marines are up there after the Navy.
And I think if Ashton Lewis would win a race, or when he wins a race, I don't think anyone would begrudge him of that.
No, he and his family have sacrificed a lot to get that kid here in the position he's in right now.
And it kicked Ashton Lewis in the 25 up the racetrack, so Tony's going to take advantage of it. Looks like they're going to leave Ashton Lewis in the 25 on the outside, hung out to dry.
That was borderline yellow line right there.
Ashton Lewis in the 25, he has no help whatsoever. He's going to go from about 3rd to about 9th.
Yeah, this is textbook. Textbook Talladega. You get hung out to dry or clothesline. Yeah, a lot of flame from the left side on Stewart's car. He's done.
Something happened to the engine. I think it was ignition, and the thing was firing out the pipes. See him waving out the window.
Tough break for the Daytona winner. Tony Stewart has hung on here and been in contention all day. Looks like he will not be around for the finish.
Yeah, clear down. Got 4 coming out of the travel now.
Just coasting around, man.
Oh, you feel like it was electrical? Yeah, the tack won't even move as I'm trying to crank it over. Okay, did you switch boxes or maybe hit your button on your steering wheel?
As they're rolling through the checklist of trying to get the engine to refire, he says it is something electrical. Does not sound good for Tony Stewart, the Daytona winner, as he's lost the draft, rolling around slowly without power.
And I don't know, he's just now halfway down the backstretch. It's going to be a tall order to make it all the way back around the pit road.
I think he will, Larry. Not at the speed he's going.
There are a couple of places he can turn in out of harm's way, as you see here. And here comes the pack. Coming around the outside once again is Kerry Earnhardt on the high side.
If he was going to pull in, he just passed the pull in spot.
Yes.
He's still trying to start, trying to crank it, Carol. Sounded like.
And look who's sitting up there in 4th place. Randy LaJoy in that 34 car started at the very back of the field. About halfway through the race, he was going through the infield grass sideways, kicking mud and water. There he is in the top 5. We're looking at him right now from David Stremme.
Steve?
And Mike, we got a report down here in LaJoy's pits that the 2-time NASCAR Busch Series champion has been racing with a broken left front shock.
Wow.
And he had left front shock problems in qualifying.
Had a problem with that shock in qualifying. That's why he started in the rear. They had to change the shock.
LaJoy finished 2nd to Dale Earnhardt here in 1993. His first Busch Series race in over 2 years, and that paved the way to 2 straight championships in 96 and 97.
Might be better off without it the way it's running.
15 laps to go in Talladega. Here we go. 5 laps to race.
Let's see if we can get 5 good ones in here, boys.
Randy LaJoy in a 34 car jumps to the bottom of the racetrack. Looks like he's going to go by Ashton Lewis in the 25. He gets kicked up to the high side again.
Ashton Lewis just doesn't restart worth a flip.
No, that's the 2nd restart in a row. That car wouldn't go.
And now Randy LaJoy has a good push from Mark Green in that 23 car.
There's one thing about this aero package. Those guys back there just a few car lengths back, they can get a whale of a run on that front group.
And Darrell, I'd say Martin Truex Jr. in the 8 car, he's going to run the bottom, but he's going to be looking out the rearview mirror as much as he will that windshield.
Here's Steve on the 4th place car.
David Stremme, Mike Joy, and just as Matt Yoakum said, a lot of radio chatter between David Stremme and his crew chief Randy Cox, spotter Mike Kalanoff. Stremme knows he's not the fastest car on the racetrack, but if he can hook up with the 47, he said he thinks he can get up there and challenge the lead.
He's got a nice clear shield on there. He's holding a real nice wheel. Takes a look to the back, see where everybody is. A lot of looking in the rearview mirror. You see him look again. Very comfortable. Watching that mirror. Watching that mirror. Where are they going to go? Where are they going to come from?
Where to go?
And let's go to the pit of the 3rd place car. Matt.
Mike, you have to know that John Wood's grandparents, Glenn and Bernice Wood, back in Stewart, Virginia, They have helped this young man along with his father, Eddie. He started racing go-karts at age 12. He's been impressive in every form of racing he's competed in up till now. A quick learner. Right now, he's hanging off the back of the 98, trying to size him up. Oh, we've got a spin. Kevin LePage.
No caution yet.
Nobody else. He pounds the wall and drifts off.
Caution is out now. Caution is out. That was 3 to go that time.
Here we go. It'll be green flag, then white flag, then checkered flag. 2 laps to go to settle it out. Here is the world's fastest speedway. Busch Series champion Martin Truex Jr. takes the green flag in front of third-generation driver Kerry Earnhardt, trying to win his first Busch race as his third place John Wood.
John Wood got a really good jump. He's going to look under Kerry right here, but I don't think he had the steam to do it. But he had a good restart, John Wood, in a 47.
What he did, he lagged back just a little bit, and that gave him a good run. Now he's getting a push from David Stremme in the 14, and they're going to open the bottom of the door there from Kerry Earnhardt down the backstretch.
Boy, Kerry just got up off the bottom, and he didn't get the best of restarts, and that's going to open the door, and they're going to go flying through.
But it's Truex in front who's playing the pat hand. He can change lanes at will, trying to keep either pack behind him when they get a run.
That's a good move on John Wood's part. He put the pressure on Kerry Earnhardt. Kerry yielded, and he got the position.
He played that restart just right. They're coming off turn 4. White flag this time.
Truex, Wood, Stremme, Lewis, Earnhardt, the front 5.
White flag this time, white flag.
This is it.
You're going to see some moves. You're going to see some people take some chances here, I believe. These guys, like we said, they all want to win. Sure, they're all happy to be where they are, but I think a win would be even better.
It'll start happening right here, coming onto this backstretch. This is where the moves will start happening. You see Kerry Earnhardt in the 98 to the high side. Who will go with him?
John Wood in only his 12th Busch Series start, trying to grab the win from Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah, Kerry got out there, but he couldn't go anywhere, and that pretty well sealed the deal right there.
Side by side for 6, LaJoie battling with Jason Keller.
Nose to tail behind you here, buddy.
Earnhardt loses the draft and falls to LaJoie. Oh boy, here comes Lewis to the high side. This is it. This is for the money.
Yeah, he looked. But he's smart enough to, he's got to get back down in line or you're going to lose. I think he got it all right, but Kerry just about got him.
Yeah, Ashton Lewis Jr. finished 4th, Kerry Earnhardt 5th. Randy LaJoie finishes 6th.
Unofficially 4th to 5th, 1/1000th of a second.
Way to be.
Good looking piece, isn't it, Larry?
It'll look real good here in just a few minutes over at Victory Lane. A little dark, but it'll look good.
Best looking car I've seen.
There's the winning car owner, Dale Earnhardt Jr., who will join Martin Truex, the Busch Series champ, in Victory Lane.
Impressive drive for Martin Truex, 21st to 1st.
This is official.
That had to impress the boss man as well.
Looked like one of his drives, didn't it, with the nose all tore off, and just proud of these guys. They never give up, and we never give up together. Man, what a wild race! But just glad we didn't overheat and could get to the end. Seemed like it was the big key today.
They didn't have to pit 13 times like you did here several years ago, but you have to be proud of this entire team effort in the way he drove.
Yeah, he drove a great race. I'm proud of the team. They worked real hard to get the car back together. Proud of everybody at DEI. They gave him a great car this weekend, great motor. Thing was awesome. The body, everything was awesome on it. Just even when it tore up, man, it still had the steam to get up there. He did a great job with it.
This is a special place to win for anybody.
Yeah, it is. 2 for 2 here. Who'd have thought? I don't know. How many wins you got here in a Busch car?
I don't know. 1 or 2.
Probably 2. No, it's just an awesome day. I thank Johnny and everybody at Bass Pro, Tracker Boats, all our great sponsors, everybody at DI working their butts off. Too bad Paul got wrecked. His car was really, really fast, and he'd have been tough to beat if he was still out there. But just I can't say enough about him. Throwing screws through the hood and pounding on fenders and putting tape all over the thing.
Looks like a car from Wall Stadium.
Yeah, it's like an old street stock, but it still run pretty good. And just proud to be the guy sitting in the seat of this thing, and had a lot of fun out there today.
Second, I have just taken a lap around your race car, sir, and there is just a little donut in the right side door and a little bit of the nick in the right rear fender. How did you keep your car whole when everybody else was demolishing theirs?
Well, it took me 10 races to figure out how to do it. I've learned just now that you got to finish these races to finish up front. And, you know, we've deserved this all year. We've had such outstanding cars. We've run top 5, top 8 the whole year. And, you know, Clorox deserves it. My team deserves it. ST Motorsports, it's just a dream.